Marketing is a discipline which is composed by different disciplines. For example, economics, psychology, sociology, and mathematics, statistics. So if you have a look on the history of marketing, we come from mass marketing, went through segmentation and mass marketing, service marketing, relationship marketing with the birth of customer relationship management, and we are situated today in the era of customization and customerization, including customer engagement and one-to-one marketing. So let's have a closer look to the history of marketing by starting with mass marketing. We come from mass marketing. After the Second World War, firms did only mass marketing because actually the needs were not really satisfied. So firms could actually sell everything without differentiating them, without any personalization. In other words, we take the car sector. Consumers needed cars, but actually if the car is black or blue or red, it did not matter because they needed was a mean of transport. Firms could afford not to differentiate the products. Imagine the same situation today. Imagine a firm that is only offering black cars. Like it said Henry Ford, he said, I can produce all the cars you want unless they are black. So imagine today the constraint that you can only buy black cars or that you can only buy small cars or big cars. So today the market is hyper-segmented. And this is a concept that came from the 70s. So when competition arose, segmentation became important. So this means that firms started to think about differentiation, think about different features, so different markets, different consumers. So this means that, for example, you don't offer only black cars, but cars of different colors. But this means also that you offer cars according to different income. So smaller cars for lower income, luxury cars for higher income, or for different purposes. So smaller cars for city, for urban traffic, and bigger cars for longer traffic. That is why different competitors came on the market. So we have German competitors, German brands like Volkswagen, Mercedes, BMW, and others. You have French brands, you have US brands, and even in the 70s, the first Japanese brands came on the market with Honda, Toyota, Mitsubishi. And yeah, all these brands or car producers differentiated them through different types of cars according to different segments. Or if you take another example in the cosmetics for skincare, there was, for example, dry skin, there was mixed skin, there was greasy skin, and we differentiated and segmented the market into age, young skins, skin of people between 30 and 40 years, between 40 and 50 years, and more. So these are classical segmentation criterions, which can be enhanced by geographical segmentation. For example, European or Western consumers and Asian consumers. Because in Asia, consumers prefer to have a more white skin, whereas in Europe and Western customers prefer products that make a more darker skin. So this would be another segmentation criterion. So you see, we come from mass marketing in order to create value, so completely undifferentiated products, to segmentation marketing, where products started to get personalized through rough segmentation criterions. That is, for example, geography, purchase behaviors, income, benefits, and so on. This is actually how marketing has been done since the 1970s, is still done today. Because if you go today to supermarkets, or even if you buy look to any product range of any brand, let's take again the smartphone sector, range of products in the Apple portfolio, you have less expensive smartphones, so they have still the iPhone 7 and 8, and they have more expensive smartphones until the iPhone 11. Bigger screens, smaller screens, with more hard disk drive, quicker processors. So all these technologies are then used to differentiate and segment the market. By offering different products, firms try to adapt the products to the personal needs of the customers. This is a first step towards relationship marketing, which is today done to personalize individually the products, which we'll see on the absolutely right part of this framework. So what happened then? So everybody is now doing segmentation. So there's actually no reason anymore to prefer one brand to another one. If you compare Renault and Peugeot in France, what is the difference between Renault and Peugeot? Actually, there are a few differences. It's a little bit about the brand image, but actually the products are quite similar and substitutable. It's the same in Germany. If you look at Volkswagen Group, what is the difference between Seat and Skoda? There's not very big difference. It's a little bit in the brand image, but they're all competing on the same markets with similar product ranges. The reason why consumers should buy a given product or brand is not really there. And that is why firms started to introduce the service dimension through a service market. When, for example, the Japanese cars arrived in the European market, they did not have any service. They were cheap, so that differentiated them on the price with the low-cost strategy. The European brands, namely the German manufacturers, were more expensive, so they had to differentiate themselves through the service. It was a quite binary sector. We had the Asian or Japanese brands, which were cheap, but without any service. And you have the Western brands, which were more expensive, but they had after-sales service. And this is still valid today. So today you can still differentiate between low-cost brands. Let's take the airline sector. So if you take the airline sector, you have on the one side premium brands such as Air France, Lufthansa, or Singapore Airlines, and you have on the other hand EasyJet, Ryanair, or in the Asian market Air Asia, which are low-cost carriers without service. And so the premium brands have services such as loyalty programs, they have onboard service, they have catering on board, they have different classes such as business class and economy class. Whereas the low-cost carrier, if you want to have more service, you have to pay for it. But you can have the basic product without any service for a low-cost price. And so it still works today and shows that it's very important today to implement services because services are important for a large amount of customers. And so, and above all, customers with a higher income. And I come back to my Apple example. So customers who want to be sure not to have any problems, who want to decrease psychological risks, are ready to pay higher prices in order to have services and relationships. And this is quite close because the next step was relationship marketing, CRM, and so since the 90s. So firms, in order to differentiate themselves, included the relationship dimension about services with personalization and started to measure new indicators of performance such as satisfaction and loyalty and retention. Because formerly, when the competition was low, it was quite easy to win new customers through customer acquisition. On the other hand, it was not necessary to make them loyal. With heavy competition, it becomes more and more hard to acquire new customers. That is why it becomes important to focus on defensive strategies in order to make customers loyal. That is why today retention and loyalty are the main concepts for survival of a firm. Not anymore so market shares or sales. It is more about how to make a given customer loyal so that he does not change. And because we know that if we lose through dissatisfaction a customer, he will never come again. So it's a lost for good customer. And that is why it's important to focus more on customer relationships and satisfaction and retention and service. So these are actually the main concepts of marketing today. I would say we're not really in the absolutely right path. We're actually here. So most firms are establishing CRM, relationship marketing, service marketing. But the future and the next step will be that through relationship marketing, firms will start to customize their offer and do one-to-one marketing. This means segmentation. Whereas here we're talking about very big segments because there are a lot of people or customers having the same age criterion, having the same skin criterion, having the same income. When we're talking about one-to-one individualization, that is one product or one service individualized for one customer. That's the main aim of CRM today in the future. That is personalized services or products to individual customers. There is where we talk about database marketing, because this is done with databases. Customer habits, customer preferences are storage. And this information is used to personalize the relationship. So it's customization or personalization. And future is also customerization, which means customer engagement. So next to loyalty, customers today is not to make them only loyal, but the aim is also to make them participate. Participation means that they are doing reviews. Today we can give reviews for everything. Customers are doing communication for the firm through the engagement, and they might even co-create products for the brand. But this is only done if the consumers are loyal, if they're satisfied. The customers have to like the brand, they have to love the brand, brand attachment. So it goes beyond only loyalty, it goes beyond an active engagement for the brand. So in summary, you can see that marketing changed from completely undifferentiated products. We come to segmentation. We introduced the service dimension, which is still highly valid today. We come to a relationship, a personalized relationship, which should differentiate one offer to another one. So not only the product makes the difference, it is the relationship and the service offered which makes a difference and which makes customer satisfied and loyal. And it goes today to completely personalized products and services which are offered on individual. Some firms are already starting customization one-to-one marketing. If you look at Amazon, they're doing quite well now. Individual personalization. Deezer, Spotify, and all these digital services are actually doing personalization because we're downloading or we're listening exactly to those music we like. And this is individualization or personalization because we are all different and we all want to have different individual offers. Individualization or personalization. But the future will be that we want to have individualization for everything. Individualized suits, we want to have individualized computers, individualized cosmetics. And so this is actually still quite difficult because it's costly, but in the future it will be very important because this personalization will make the difference. And next to service, personalization will make the difference in order to create value for the customers, and customers will create value for the firm through their loyalty, but also through their engagement. So you have the win-win situation. Firms create value for the customers through personalization and services and good products, whereas customers create value for the firms through loyalty, profitability, and customer engagement, that is communication. And so in summary, we have seen that marketing is not a stable discipline, but a dynamic discipline. Marketing is thus an organizational function and a set of processes for creating and delivering value through traditionally the marketing mix. That is the 4 Ps: product, price, promotion, and place, distribution. Nowadays, marketing is enhanced through new pillars, namely the service orientation and service delivery, namely the relationship dimension with relationships based on personalization and added value related to personalization of products and services, and namely through customerization, that is the engagement of the customers into the value creation process through communication, co-creation, and product co-creation. And relationship marketing involves creating, maintaining, and enhancing strong relationships with customers and other stakeholders in order to personalize and to create an interactive value-added relationship. This is actually the basis of CRM next to good product features. Customers stay loyal because of a good relationship with the brand. And so you might wonder, how can I have a relationship? Actually, they're not all sectors that are fitting for that. For example, in the banking sector, in the finance sector, customers are searching for strong relationships because relationships help them to have closer links with their advisors. Because in the bank sectors, advisors give advices how to invest money. And so it's very important to have a strong relationship. Or if you take the smartphone sector, again, it is important to have a relationship or a good service relationship, because in case of problems, the brand will help you to exchange or to repair your product. Or if you take the car sector, if you buy a car, you want to have good service and relationships with ideally a person to resolve your problems. But if you look at sectors like grocery retail, if you look at water, nobody probably wants to have a relationship with a water brand like Evian or Vittel. Or nobody wants to have a relationship with a noodle producer or even more extreme, a toilet paper producer. Relationship marketing works well in sectors where it makes sense to have relationships. In other words, sectors where the perceived risk is high. The perceived risks are high when the purchase price is high. The financial sector, the smartphone sector, the computer sector, the car sector are sectors where relationships matter. Which does not mean that in grocery retail it does not make sense. And because there now grocery retailers are establishing loyalty programs, card programs. So you probably all have loyalty cards from retailers such as Carrefour, Leclerc, or specialized retailer like Sephora or Yves Rocher or Decathlon. So you know all these brands in order to get information about you, about us. And this information helps them to establish relationships and to do personalization. Because as you have seen, because personalization is the key for relationships. So why do they have loyalty programs? Because they want to create strong links with their customers, and this comes through personalization. So even in grocery retail or in retail, through the information firms get about us, they want to establish a relationship. And as we like personalized products, as we like personalization, so we might engage into relationships with a retailer by using more strongly the loyalty cards and by getting information from via the loyalty card about sales promotions, about any offers on which we will react or not. Basically, the relationship marketing comes rather from high involvement sectors, but in practice now, even in less involving sectors such retail, retailers try to get to create this relationship and to maintain it and to enhance it. This means that in the beginning we take a loyalty card, we have actually no relationship. Then we start buying, and the retailer will know more about us. So we will collect information. This information can then be used in order to understand what we like, what are our preferences. This learning will enable him to personalize the offers. In other words, if you buy, for example, noodles in a supermarket, he might recommend us to buy pasta sauce, tomato sauce, for example. This would be an easy example how the relationship is enhanced. By knowing something about us, he will recommend us something else. If we take the example of Amazon, if we buy a book about customer relationship management, Amazon might recommend us other books about CRM. For example, my book about loyalty management. Information system with the data will analyze, will do data mining. This data will be collected, analyzed, and an algorithm, which is called recommender system, will recommend us products based on similarities with other products which we might like, or which would enhance the value for us. Another example would be if we buy beer or wine, we might get recommendation for crisps or peanuts, which we might consume together when you have, for example, an aperitif. So you see these recommendations enhance value and aim at creating high value for customers through mainly personalization. Personalization is the personalization of product, but personalization of the relationship, better customers, better customers, and personalized services according to the customers in order to create satisfaction and in order to create retention or loyalty.